Welcome to the Courage to Live podcast. My name is Josh Bitsko. I'm a retired police captain from Las Vegas with 24 years of experience. Currently, I travel the country and teach first responders, law enforcement, and leaders about courage, resilience, and leadership. Today, we're going to talk about how the most important part of a large event, whether it's in business, whether it's in law enforcement, doesn't even happen on the day of the event. So really, the grind is bigger than the big event. So people often look at a major incident and they focus on the outcome of that day. What they don't see is the hundreds of small, unseen reps, hours of training, choices that prepared you for responding to that big event. So the big event is just a test of everything that you've been doing all along. We tend to look at these critical incidents in policing, for example, and how the officers responded. And then we make blanket statements. Oh, that officer was a hero. They were, and they are, but maybe they were just born different. They're natural born leaders. And we can tend to dismiss all the hours of work and training that went into that moment so that person could succeed. We do the same thing in sports. You look at your favorite athlete. Take Steph Curry, for example. Watching him play basketball is amazing. It seems like oftentimes the guy can't miss. But what we don't see is the hours of practice that he still to this day does shooting from 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet away. We can kind of dismiss all of the hard work that went in to people's achievements and only see the big moments and not the failures and not the reps to get better. And so, how do we then take this into our own life and become better and more prepared for these big events that happen in life? Well, the biggest thing is habits can build readiness, right? Daily training. If for police officers, spending time on the range, scenario drills, briefing, mental check ins, all these things seem small, but they build up into large results. Same thing in life, same thing whether it's a sport, whether you're training jujitsu, it's hours and hours of drills before you're live rolling. It's keeping yourself in shape, it's how you eat, it's how you prepare. All of these things go into preparing you for the big event. So understanding is that the consistency in training is what helps us respond better under stress. And this grind, it's not what makes you famous. It's not flashy. It's not cool, but it's how we achieve greatness when it matters most. All of this preparation allows certain things to be automatic. So you don't have to put mental energy towards them under stress when you're on that big event, when you're on the field playing, when you're responding to that active shooter. You know what to do. The next step I'm going to talk about is the how to do it. It's that mental preparation. It's preparing the correct mindset to tell yourself that you can navigate fear, you can navigate anxiety to do what you know you need to do in those moments. So it's not just about the specific tactics or the fitness or, how you feed your body. Those things are important, but really it's about that mental rehearsal to prepare that mindset. I talk all the time in my classes about the importance of crisis rehearsal. That is visualizing what that big event, not only what it is, but what it's going to feel like when you're in it, what you're going to encounter. What are the smells? What are the sounds? You're recreating that scenario in your head in a space where you are allowed to fail, and you're preparing your mind for the response that comes afterwards. It is a form of stress inoculation. It is getting yourself ready to experience stress. And it can come through that mental visualization, that crisis rehearsal. It can come from a lot of smaller reps for other stressful events. Let's say, you're playing football and you've been in, hundreds of games before you make it to the Super Bowl. Well, you can call upon those experiences in those games so then at least you have an idea of what you're going to experience in the big game. and not getting caught up in that big game mentality. See, some officers that I worked with only got up for the rare big event, but that mindset misses the truth is every call, every rep is shaping that readiness for you. And for those that know me, I don't like the mental anecdotes when it comes to policing. You see them on T-shirts and all of that, but you don't. This one really fits to what we're talking about today. Is you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your training, and I'll take that a step further. You also fall to the level of the mindset that you prepared to handle stressful events. So remember to celebrate that grind. The grind is long nights, it's repetition, it's waking up early and working out and getting yourself ready. It's the mental crisis rehearsal when you're on your way to these calls, when you're on your way to work, on what you're going to experience that day to prepare yourself mentally so you can have a mindset that's going to allow you to succeed. It's going to allow you to mitigate the hard emotions that come from, large critical incidents that come from the big game, as we're calling it. But it's the daily work, like that grind, is where you build the confidence to know that you can do what you need to do under intense amounts of stress. So don't measure yourself only by the outcome of a single event, right? I have learned how to be a leader, how to be a cop, how to do jujitsu, how to be a husband or a father, not just by my wins, but I've learned by failing, by messing up and not doing the same thing again. I measure myself by my consistency to keep showing up. I measure myself by the consistency to prepare more than I do a single outcome because that's how that mindset that we've developed breaks. So if you honor that grind, then you'll be ready when that big event comes. So thank you for listening today. If you enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and share it with your friends. I know you don't have many hours in a day, so spending 10 minutes with me, I do really appreciate it. Have a great day and thank you.